Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with this channel or are watching this channel for the first time, uh, it is called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform, we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions, but not everyone uses logic. So, for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. I also need to let everybody know that the subscriber mode has been enabled. What does that mean? That means that if you are not a subscriber to the channel and if you wish to enter a comment in the chat, you will need to subscribe to this channel. Okay. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel, whether it be from day one or as recent as this this week. I really appreciate all the love and support that you've given me. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Facebook, whether it be Twitter, whether it be TikTok, or any other type of social media. Okay. And I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices. So, what I'm going to ask you to do is the following. If you have not done so, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So, therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. Um, First of all, maybe a little early, I just want to say happy Passover to all our members of the uncommon folk who observe Judaism. And for all us Christians, happy Palm Sunday. We have entered into Holy Week, which for many of us is the most important week of the year due to the events that lead from our Lord's entry into Jerusalem, his crucifixion, and resurrection. So, being that it's Holy Week, there's going to be a couple of changes. I'm not going to be doing a live stream on Thursday night or Friday night due to religious observances. I will be doing one tonight. I'll be doing one Tuesday, and I'm also going to be doing one on Wednesday. So, and of course, all are welcome um, to enter any comments, whether it be live or after the stream. Just ask that please keep it respectable and let's just be respectful to one another. So, that being said, before I forget, this week I'll be sharing more information regarding my special stream, which is what I call the Victimization Olympics. So it's tend to be a little bit spicy, but I'm going to be speaking about the facts. I'm going to do my best not to talk about any particular um, person mentioning names, but I'm going to mention some groups that love to play the victimization Olympics. I will be discussing more of that this week. So that being said, we're going to get into the main topic. So, so as you can see on the thumbnail, the topic for tonight is let us learn from our mistakes. Now, let me just explain to you, if you forgive the biblical term, the genesis behind it. The fact of the matter is, we're all imperfect. We're all going to make mistakes, and that's a part of life. Some of the mistakes are minor, like putting in your shirt backwards, or maybe forgetting your keys or what have you, or maybe forgetting a cell phone, or maybe forgetting to get up early to go to work and what have you. Those are minor mistakes. Sometimes we make mistakes where it could be major. It can have a negative impact with our own lives and our health. So the whole purpose behind this stream is to learn from our mistakes. And what it does is certain amount of maturity, number one. It also requires accountability for your actions. Now we know not everyone, for whatever reason, is accountable to their actions, and they like to find guilt in anybody but themselves. We have come across those types of people, and there's not much we can do. Okay, but here we're dealing with people who are accountable for their actions. So what I'm going to do is, hopefully my computer will cooperate, and I'm going to share certain things. The link is in the chat should anyone wishes to join the panel. Okay. And if no one joins the panel, that's just fine. Maybe I may have to keep it short. But in any case, let's see. Just give me a moment. Okay. Now, sometimes it takes a while for the image to appear. So, actually, I came across a page which is called Indeed. And this is an article which was updated not long ago, February the 3rd of this year. And the name of the article is, excuse me, just take care of this. How to learn from your mistakes and achieve better results. Okay. So let me just, okay. Making mistakes can be a valuable learning opportunity. You can find lessons from your mistakes and help you to improve your skills and expand your knowledge. Learning how to build trust with your employer and colleagues can be useful to learn how to handle mistakes. In this article, we discuss the importance of learning from your mistakes and provide steps for learning from the mistakes you make. Now, here's the first question. Why is it important to learn from mistakes? Making mistakes at work can be inevitable, but it can also be a valuable growth experience. Everyone is likely to make mistake at some point, whether it's forgetting to send an email or missing a deadline. But you can turn a mistake into a positive situation by using it as an opportunity to learn and become better at your job by not making the same mistake again. Showing that you have learned from your mistakes can also increase your employer's trust in you and prove that you're willing to put effort into improving yourself. Additionally, learning from your mistakes and viewing them as a positive experience can help increase your confidence and free you from the fear of failure. Now, here's some things to bear in mind when mistakes do occur. Number one, acknowledge your mistakes. When you make a mistake, try to admit it as soon as you can and apologize if necessary. Making an effort to apologize for a mistake can show that you respect the people who have been affected by the mistake. Apologizing can also show that you regret your mistake, that you are willing to take responsibility for it, and you're using it as an opportunity to improve yourself. Excuse me. Number 2, analyze your mistakes. Think about what caused the mistake and how to resolve it, and note things that you did well or poorly. Analyzing and understanding your mistake can help you to determine what you can do differently to ensure that the mistake does not happen again. It can also help you to identify solutions for future mistakes. For example, if you forget to send an important email, you can determine that you made a mistake because you didn't add sending an email to your to-do list. You can then write all of your upcoming tasks in your planner. Okay. Number 3, get feedback. You might also find helpful to get feedback from the people around you, such as your supervisors or coworkers. Constructive criticism can help you identify areas you can improve to be better at your job. You can also ask mentors for advice on addressing your mistakes. For example, if you made a mistake that you didn't know how to solve, you can contact a mentor who used to have your job and ask them how they handle various situations. They can give you valuable insight into your job and how to approach and difficult situations. Number 4, find lessons. A key step in learning from your mistake is finding lessons in your mistake. For example, maybe a mistake taught you something that you didn't know before. A mistake can also show you where you can improve your skills. Picking up the lessons you have learned from a mistake can help you to improve yourself and your work. For example, running late to an important meeting can show that you want to improve your time management skills. Missing a project deadline may show you that you may want to set more realistic goals. Number 5, make a plan to apply lessons. Determine how you can avoid making the same mistake again and consider communicating your plan to your supervisor. You can also think of habits and routines to improve your work and avoid making the same mistake. Your plan can be flexible to include specific actions you can take. It can also include resources and a guide detailing what to do if you begin to make the same mistake. For example, if you made a mistake forgetting an important deadline, you can create a system to help you keeping track of all your deadlines. An online calendar can alert you to upcoming deadlines as they approach to ensure that you don't forget a deadline again. Number 6, teach others what you learned. You can also consider telling the other people in similar roles the lessons you have learned so they can learn from your mistake. This can help avoid the same mistake occurring repeatedly in your workplace and can help you to build relationships with your colleagues. Additionally, teaching others what you have learned can help solidify lessons in your memory. For example, if you make a mistake calculating a figure on a financial statement, you can show your coworkers the same job where you made the mistake and how they can avoid it. Doing this can also make a workplace more efficient and productive. Number 7, reflecting on your progress. Reflecting on your improvement can also help you to view mistakes positively as growth opportunities. You can evaluate how you have applied your lessons in your life, including how you stuck to habits. You can also think of mistakes that you continue to make to identify where you still can improve. Consider reflecting by writing in a journal or talking to someone you trust. And number 8, keep a learning mindset. Having a learning mindset is thinking of yourself as constantly learning. Keeping a learning mindset can help you to view mistakes as lessons and growth opportunities rather than failures. Instead of dwelling on mistakes you have made, think of it as positive experiences that have helped you to grow and improve. And we're going to park it here. Okay. Let me just give you my take regarding what was just shared. This article teaches us that instead of avoiding admitting making mistakes, we can evaluate the actions that led us to make these mistakes and what to do to correct them. Also, by admitting that you made a mistake and actually learning from this mistake, it shows two things. Number one, it shows that you are able to take accountability for your actions. And also, it shows a level of growth that you're able to learn from the mistakes and you can adapt to new situations. We're all going to make mistakes from time to time, whether it be missing deadlines, whether it be missing appointments, whether it be forgetting important things. Okay. The key here, again, okay, let us examine the mistakes that we made and let us see what we can do to correct them. Okay. And also, by sharing what you've learned from these mistakes, you can help other people to avoid making the same mistakes that you made. So instead of treating it as a failure, what you're doing, you're treating it as a learning, as an opportunity to learn and an opportunity to improve yourself, which is always a good thing. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share another article. Just give me a moment. Now, sometimes it takes a while for my. Okay. Any day now. Is that it takes a while sometimes. Okay. So this is another article which I found in a website called Better Up. And the name of the article, Learning from the Art of Making Mistakes. Okay, and it was written by Maggie Wall. I think that's how you pronounce it. And the article was written January 27th of last year. Okay. Okay. Begins. Making mistakes is guaranteed in life. You can't avoid it entirely, no matter what you do. What matters more than any blunder or its magnitude is your response afterward, which is totally true. Okay. And I see that there's three people watching the stream. I guess being that it's a Sunday night, people are probably going out. So I suspect that most people will catch the stream on the playback, which is perfectly fine. Okay. What matters more is any blunder or magnitude is your response afterward. Most of all, most, if not all your mistakes can be an excellent learning opportunities. In fact, learning from failure is often the key to success. By getting things wrong, you improve your skills and grow in various ways. If you're learning, you won't go wrong. Okay, and here's an interesting note. It's important to be willing to make mistakes. The worst thing that can happen is you become memorable. Memorable. Okay. So now we're going to go into what are mistakes, why they're associated with failure. So let's see what this article says. A mistake is an error in judgment, misunderstanding, or misguided action. You will always have poor intentions when making mistakes. In fact, many mistakes are accidents. They can occur because you simply did not know better, whether in your personal or professional life. Ultimately, failure comes from the lack of success or an inability to meet expectations. Everyone's definition of failure is different. And that is very true. Several consecutive mistakes can lead to failure, but the terms aren't synonymous. Fear of failure is natural, but since humans aren't perfect, errors are inevitable, and both mistakes and failure are great learning experiences. What matters most is what we take away from our mistakes and how we learn not to make them again. So again, it excuse me, the key is to learn from mistakes, not avoid making mistakes because they will come no matter what. The key is to learn from those mistakes, so therefore we will not do the same mistakes again. Now, are there any benefits to making mistakes? Though it may not seem so, making mistakes always have benefits, but this is the only case if you follow these steps after an error. Okay. Number one, acknowledge mistakes. Remember what I said earlier when it comes to accountability? This is a good example. Acknowledge that you made mistakes. The first step to achieving growth is admitting when you've done wrong. Don't try to cover it up, deny it, or push it aside. Doing so will make things worse, increase your stress, and in some cases, damage your reputation. If you need to apologize to someone, apologize. Think of the biggest mistake you have ever made. Does anyone remember it? Did you learn something from it? Honesty and ownership are acts of courage. People will remember your bravery and grace over your accidents or clumsiness. Number two, reframe and analyze the mistake. Changing your perspective is the second step to the learning process. Putting in a dedicated effort to step back from the situation will help you to see the bigger picture and increase your resilience. This is important for personal and professional development alike. Ask yourself the following question: what was I trying to do? What went wrong? When did it go wrong? Why did it go wrong? And the life lessons and insight into how to avoid repeating the same mistakes are somewhere in the answers. Okay. Number 3, ask yourself the hard questions. Self reflection is difficult but crucial to the learning journal. Similar to ownership, you can't take steps to change things if you don't know what you did. Take the time to consider what led up to the mistake, including errors you made along the way. Now, this is something that's very important. Sometimes we fear self reflection, but we need to embrace it. And we need to sit down and we need to think about the steps that we have taken. Okay? If you are able to do that, then you can see where you made your mistake, where you went astray, where you went awry. And then you can learn from it that the next time you choose a different set of actions. Number 4, put the lessons you learn into practice. Introspection is healthy, but it can only get you so far. Eventually, you'll have to take action to ensure that you grow as a person. Take what you learn from your mistake and adjust accordingly. That may mean improving your communication skills or putting in place strategies so you don't lose track of time or neglect important details. Practice makes perfect. The more frequently you train your mind and body to think and react in a certain way, the quicker the improvement. Now, here we're talking about adjustments. So after you see your mistake, after you own up to your mistake, you take a look at the action that led you to make the mistake. So what you're going to do at this point, you're going to approach similar situations differently. So instead of going left, you're going to go right. Instead of going south, you're going to go north because you will have the knowledge of what you did, which led to you to make the mistake, and you will govern your actions accordingly. Excuse me, let's move this. Number 5, review your progress. 2 good ways of tracking your progress includes carving out time to evaluate yourself or asking a trusted family member, friend, or colleague to act as an accountability partner. Having another uninvolved person in the issue can offer an objective perspective and usually a clearer, more positive opinion about your personal development. This can help you stay on the right track and encourage you along the way. Coaches can help play the role of the accountability partner. Now, here, what you're doing is you're asking someone um, to observe the action that you're taking. And that person can give you feedback how to approach the same situation in the future in different ways, react differently, act differently. Because sometimes there's certain things that we will miss because our vision is limited. However, by asking someone that we trust to give us a different perspective, we were able to see those things that we would normally miss because we have tunnel vision. Okay. Number 6, recognize that it's okay to feel vulnerable. When we make mistakes, we tend to feel discouraged and vulnerable. That's normal, and that's okay. Only when we're willing to be open minded to these feelings, we can improve and help others do the same. Um, no one likes to feel a failure. I mean, we get disappointed, we get upset, we get what have you. Okay. However, um, we need to be open minded in order to see where we made a mistake. Good evening, Irby. Thank you very much for stopping by. The topic for tonight is learning from your mistakes. So I just going through some techniques where we can learn from our mistakes and do better. Number 7. Remember that we cannot avoid making mistakes. Change is perhaps one of the only constant things about our world. Everything around us, technology, our careers, where we live, whom we love, and what we value, is constantly shifting. Change leads to unfamiliar territory, and with unfamiliar territory comes mistakes. It's impossible to anticipate everything that will happen. All we can do is try our best, ask for help, and support others. Rest assured, you're on alone in whatever you're dealing with. Okay. Some people will not venture to do anything different because they're so used to doing the same routine day in, day out. Problem is, they can lead a very boring life, and we're all going to make mistakes. That's something that's going to happen eventually. No one's perfect. The only one's perfect is God. Okay. So we need to be able to look at these mistakes as opportunities for learning, growth, and how to do better. Now we're going to be talking about why it is important to see mistakes as learning experiences. We're not going to sugarcoat it. Life is hard, but with the lows come the highs, and your situation will get better. If you or someone you know is feeling down, try reading the following inspiration quotations. They're guaranteed to put a smile on your face and give you the spark you need to gather all that you learn and keep going. And here are some statements. Oh, yes, the past will hurt, but the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it. And it's a quote from Walt Disney. The next one says, learn from every mistake because every experience, encounter, and particularly your mistakes are there to teach you and force you into being more of who you are. And there was a quote by Oprah Winfrey. And the next statement is, the greatest mistake you can make in life is to be continually fearing you will make one. And it was attributed to Albert Hubbard. The next one says, one of the basic rules of the universe is nothing is perfect. Without imperfection, neither you or I would exist. And this was attributed to Stephen Hawking. Now, here's an interesting thing to consider. Being compassionate towards oneself after making a mistake. It can be challenging to maintain a positive outlook, especially when we get caught in the torrent of daily life. We'll have bad days or bad weeks. Don't be afraid to mess up. It's part of building and fine tuning your mental fitness to become the best version of yourself. How you see yourself and view your action is a significant aspect of handling any errors you make. Your mindset is everything. It may seem small, but showing compassion towards yourself does wonders for your self esteem. Okay. Better Up was created precisely for that purpose. Okay. I'm not going to shred that. Okay, I think. So what we're going to do is we're going to park it here. Okay. So as you can see by the two articles that I shared, certain things that we see hand in hand. One of the things that we need to do is to acknowledge when we make mistakes. Okay. Now, the natural tendency is to deny, or not take accountability for the mistakes that we made. Okay. The problem is that does not help you to learn. It does not help you. What it does, it makes the situation worse. And when you constantly deny your mistakes and refuse to take accountability, it damages your reputation. However, when you are able to take accountability for your actions, when you are able to admit when you made a mistake, okay, and even more importantly, to learn from those mistakes, um, it can become learning lessons, okay, and when you are open regarding the mistakes that you made, and then you share the times that you make mistakes with other people, what you're doing is you're helping others to avoid the same mistakes you made, which is something that's very important indeed. Okay. Of course, it's like I said before, it's easier to deny. It's easier to cast the blame on other people. But immature people do that. Okay. And one thing I know about the people who support this channel, who are members of the uncommon folk, you are all mature people. Okay. You are able to take accountability for your actions. You're able to take a look at the mistakes that you've made and turn it into opportunities for growth, turn it opportunities to learn. So therefore, the next time that you're faced with a similar situation, you will not make the same mistake again. Okay. And believe me, in my life's journey, I have made many mistakes. And some of those mistakes were major. Some of those mistakes hurt others. Some of those mistakes made lives uncomfortable for some of the people that I interact and care about. So what I had to do was to take accountability for the mistakes that I've made, acknowledge them, confess whenever it was necessary, apologize, and take up the determination not only to not repeat the same mistake again, but to learn from those mistakes and also share my knowledge with those who are willing to receive it. Okay. Again, I understand not everyone is at that stage when they're able to acknowledge their mistakes. Okay. However, a true sign of maturity, a true sign of being an adult, is to acknowledge when and where you make mistakes, learn from them, and then not repeat them. Okay. There is no shame in making a mistake and learning from that mistake and sharing your knowledge to those who will receive it. Whereas the shame is that when you don't acknowledge that you made a mistake, that you try to pass the guilt on other people or circumstances and refuse to learn on those mistakes. Okay. And again, there were some mistakes that I made. They were minor, and there were other mistakes that I made which were major. Okay. There have been mistakes which actually did some damage to other people, and I decided to be a responsible, mature adult and acknowledge where I went wrong and apologize when necessary and take the actions that I needed in order to learn from them. Okay. Now, I have been talking for almost 45 minutes. Okay. Now, I see there's 5 people viewing this stream. Okay. Now, my question is this: have you been able to learn from your mistakes? Have there been any mistakes that you did that made it difficult for you to admit? If so, if you wish to enter them in the chat, you can do so. The link is also there as well, should you wish to join the panel. If no one wishes to join the panel, or no one wishes to enter a comment, then what I will do is I will end the stream. One moment. How you doing?
How you doing?
Okay.
So you just buy clothes today?
Yeah, I bought some clothing.
Oh, nice.
So I bought a couple of sweater vests.
All that stuff garbage.
Yeah, I'm gonna take care of that.
You put a sweater vest?
Yeah.
I might have some things. So I'm gonna start going through my stuff because I'm gonna make an offer on an apartment tomorrow. I know you think I'm crazy, right?
No. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
It's on Thuriot. It's across.
Okay.
So,
Excuse me, one moment.
oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were on.
No, it's okay. Okay, I apologize. I'm back. And these things happen in these YouTube streams. But
Tell them that I apologize.
so as I was saying, the main thing is just admit when you make a mistake and keep it going. So as I was saying, if anyone wishes to join the panel, the link is there. If no one wishes to join the panel, then and if there's no further comment, then I'll start to wrap it up. Okay. And I suspect that more people will catch this on the playback, which is perfectly fine. That's why when I do prepare stream, I try to prepare material um, to keep me going. Now I'm going to be doing another stream Tuesday, okay, at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, and actually it's going to be mistakes to avoid, but the topic is going to be vacation mistakes to avoid. Now, sometimes, okay, now let me explain to you the reason behind that. Um, at times when we go on vacation, this are the things that we fail to do. We fail to plan. We fail to plan a budget. We fail to find out to make a plan as far as where to go, what to do, or maybe we didn't get the airline tickets in time, or what have you, and we wait into the last moment to get the airline ticket, or we wait into the last moment to book a hotel, or maybe the last moment when we rented a vehicle for use. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be talking about what mistakes we can avoid when we go on vacation. So that way you want to you can enjoy your vacation relatively stress free. Okay. Also, so this training will take place on Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Okay, and on Wednesday, um, I'm going to be doing another stream. It's going to be on open discussion. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with open discussion, what I do is I talk about a bunch of things that I perceive is something to talk about to get the ball rolling. Also, I would encourage the audience if they have anything that they wish to me to talk about. So hopefully, it will be an interchange of ideas and our thoughts with between me, with the audience, and with those who are appearing on the panel. As I stated before previously, I am not going to be doing any streams on Thursday night or Friday night due to the fact that I'm going to be attending church services Thursday night, Friday. It's Good Friday, so I'm just going to use that as a day, as a reflection. So basically, try to stay off of YouTube. Um, I'm going to do a stream on my other channel, which is Latina Diaspora. It will probably be a short stream, nevertheless. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to send the link, but in any case, what I will do is I might send a link to a couple people, and then maybe I might drop the link. So and then we will just chew the fat. Okay. Now, everyone's been talking about pearly things, whatever person, and regarding her comments regarding slavery and the Holocaust. I know everyone on his brother's been talking about his life. I might as well say a couple of words about it to end it. And this is what I say about the whole thing. First of all, everyone has the right to say whatever the heck they want. Okay. However, you have to be mindful that sometimes what you say can hurt you as far as your reputation or as how people perceive you to be. Okay. And I heard the comments. I don't think she's racist. I think she's foolish and stupid. Okay. When you think about what happened to the African American community, first of all, there were slaves for 250 years. Then they have to deal with with segregation and have you. And then in the 60s, where you had the situation where certain African American women were taught that they did not need a man, that they can do everything by themselves, and that they should try to get their education and to work on a career and try to get all the funds you can get as a young person. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it's important to get educated, but when you think that you are superior to the opposite sex based on your education, that's where there's a problem. A huge problem with that. And unfortunately, what happened is you have certain women that have taught younger women that they don't need a man, that they can do it all by themselves, that they can be boss chicks and all that sort of thing, and that they can become 304s and do whatever the bleed they want. Okay. However, there are consequences for your actions, and some people, both male and female, have an issue with accountability. For some people, it's like kryptonite. Okay. And unfortunately, what you have, yeah, that's true. That's true. So what you have is you have some women, again, some women who made poor choices regarding who they give a child to, who they sleep with, and then talk about man ain't crap. Okay. But yet, the last time I checked, you were the ones that gave access to your body to these Pookies and Ray Rays. You was the one that decided to engage in intercourse with these people without protection. And then you decided to carry these children to term. So what happens is you have some of these women who have like 2, 3, or 4 baby daddies, and they have like a whole bunch of kids, and then they expect men of high value to treat them as high value, but yet some of these women, they don't want to talk about what they offer. All they talk about is that they have a JJ, and that's it. Well, with all due respect, men, okay, responsible men, mature men that are on their game, what they're looking for is someone that can support them, someone that can help create a life with them, someone that they can nurture a home with, and someone that they can grow old peacefully. What they don't need is someone that has all these crazy, unrealistic expectations. And then what makes matters worse, when some of these men ask these women what they have to offer, they get upset and they get annoyed. And heaven forbid, they ask them to do something for them. And some of these women, I said some, they just seem to take. They don't give, and then they wonder, nothing other than so. And that's not why I wanted to end this way, but I'm just giving you my thoughts. And again, these are my thoughts, not anybody else's. So that being said, being that no one has any further comments, and being no one else is going to join the panel, I'm going to start to wrap it up. Okay. And before I go, again, I'm going to ask everyone, if they have not done so, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. So I do appreciate everyone who either watched this live, even if you were cloud watching. Okay, if you go to cloud watch, at least hit the like button. It doesn't help you, it doesn't hurt you, and it does help the algorithm, so to speak. So just as a reminder, I will be live Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll be live on Wednesday, I will say 9 o'clock. And I will be doing a short stream on Saturday on my other channel. So that being said, I thank you all for all the love, all the support that you've given me. I'm going to also ask that you please pass the word to your friends and neighbors in regards to this channel. Okay. I am at 223 subs. I really appreciate it. I would like to get more subs. So I would appreciate you please spreading the word. And of course, you can always follow me on my social media. Okay. Which is TikTok at Jose Negron at 15, I'm sorry. Also, you can catch me on Twitter at Negron9515. Okay. And there's also my channels on Latino Diaspora and Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. So that being said, I thank you very much and enjoy your week. And let's be good to one another. That being said, this has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Take care, good night, and peace.
Be strong. Be strong.